So here we have a mid-80s 90 horsepower Evernote outboard. You've seen it before. It's got a slight little problem when turning. Let me show you. You see it? It's shaking the whole bench. I have no clue why this is happening. It's first thought would be lack of grease, but it's shaking way too much for that. So let's take it apart, more so than I need to. Now off the bat you would assume it just needs grease. Yeah, probably. That or lack of grease is what led it to this. I'm not sure. It's kind of a new one. Usually if the steering is connected, it's in the helm of the steering wheel, which is kind of shaky due to lack of grease. But this is just by itself doing it. So it's a little weird. Well, if I put some weight here in the rear, it doesn't happen. I don't know. It's a pretty good engine. It's clean, fresh water, 120 psi in each hole, so it's definitely worth fixing. But that little rattle, not so good. All right, I'll pull the power right off, see what we can see. Well, I've discovered a slight wobble. I don't know if you can hear it, but definitely see it. So probably the bushings in the steering shaft, both upper and lower, I think. Feels like there's more play in the lower than the upper. Pull off the exhaust housing and we'll have a look. Got a spare steering arm installed backwards to see for play. I got the bushing back up top. There's still a pretty good amount of play down there. I have the steering arm out of the blue engine here installed into this spare back piece I have. This one is much newer. It's 90s. Yeah, I don't know. It uses bushings below and up top, where the blue one here only used the upper bushing. And this arm is as solid as rock in here. There's no rocking, there's no wobbling. It's great. That's what it should feel like. So, in conclusion, swivel bracket, the lower, let's call it a bearing area, is just plain worn out. There's a little bit of slop. It's a little egg-shaped. It's unfortunate. This is, I believe, the second time I've seen this. The only other time was on a 40 horse. So, I unfortunately don't know what it would be like going down the water, because now that I know it's a problem, there's no sense in putting it back together like that. Now, if it was my motor, would I fix it? I don't know. Depends. Does it shake and vibrate and go everywhere while underway? If it didn't, I'd probably leave it. If it did, I'd probably fix it. This is available new, low price of $200, so kind of expensive. And it's a lot of work to replace it. Doable. But you're pulling the outboard off of the swivel bracket here. Now you don't need to pull the power head, you don't need to pull the exhaust housing. You don't really need to do much of anything except for unbolt the steering arm from the lower mounts and upper mount and pull it off. And then you're basically left with this. So, yeah, not impossible. However, if it's a saltwater motor, you could be in for all kinds of problems, especially with the lower mounts, the ones that are down here, and the tilt tube coming back out, because to change this, you got to pull the tilt tube, pull it out, along with the hardware here on the trail lock bracket. So it could be a nightmare. But if you see it now, at least you probably know what it is. Now, not all of them could be like that. Some may use the lower bushing, in which case change the lower bushing. Bushing's $20 and you're good to go, except for the labor involved in replacing it. So yeah, I don't know, at least we know. Something else to look out for now. Alright buddy, see you later.